Lessons. Lessons. That is what I want us to think about and talk about on this week's episode of Minutes with MinistaMike. We've been talking about principles of problem solving for quite some time now, 4 to 5 weeks. And today, this week, we will talk about the sixth principle of problem solving, and that is lessons. When you hear the word lesson, what comes to mind? I am assuming that you're educated, whether formal or informal. Listening to me on any device that you are using right now signifies that you are educated. So there are lessons. You would have heard the word lesson before, whether in your school, formal school or informal school. So when you hear the word lesson, what comes to mind? Let me define lesson like this. Let me just say this straight. The sixth principle of problem solving is around the word lesson. It is the belief that every problem carries a valuable lesson. So lesson is what you've learned, what you are learning, or what you will learn. The wisdom, the knowledge impacted to you from study, from instruction. However you get the wisdom, however you get the knowledge or the understanding, it is lesson. So this sixth principle is the belief that every problem carries a valuable lesson. This perspective transforms and changes challenges into opportunities that you can use for growth, into opportunities for improvement. See, when you approach problems with the mindset that there is always something to learn, even failures become stepping stones towards your success. Even failures become something that you embrace, even though you don't like it, even though you might cry, even though you might be hurt or you might feel pain, but you will not suffer. Why? Because you are learning from what you're going through. So these are the key points, these are the key things, insights that I want you to take away this week. Number one is embrace the learning mindset. Embrace the mindset that you will always learn something no matter the situation you're in. See, always look out for lessons in every problem. In every problem that you encounter, always look out for lessons. This particular mindset will help you turn every obstacle or stumbling block that you face into opportunities for personal, professional, spiritual, individual growth. Eventually you develop yourself more when you have the mindset that I will find the lesson in this problem. See, by asking yourself this, what can I learn from this problem? You open the door. You open the door to growth, you open the door to improvement, you open the door to development. Another insight for this week that I want you to take away is that you learn and have the mindset of transforming failures into learning experience. Have the mindset that you will transform failure into learning experience. This is what I mean. See, failure is not the end. All right, you need to know that failure is not the end of your life. It is a chance for you to improve on something. It's a feedback. It's data that you are receiving that, see, you are not doing some things correctly, or you are not approaching some things in your life in the right way. So it's a chance for you to learn. The only time that you truly lose in life is when you fail to learn from the setback that you just experienced. That's the only time you lose. So use each failure this week as a lesson that brings you closer to your goals. That is one of the key principles to solve any problem in your life. You use every single failure that you encounter. You use them to bring you closer. You use them as a yard, as a leverage that brings you closer to your goals, that brings you closer to your dreams, that brings you closer to your objectives. Another insight this week is to apply the lessons you learn immediately. It's one thing to say, I learned not to talk to people that way. I learned not to trust this person. I learned how to become a better salesperson. That's mentally stimulating, and that might give you one or two pat on your back, but without applying those lessons immediately to solve your problem, it is just a waste of capacity. It is just a waste of time. So apply the lessons you will learn this week, today, this month. Apply them immediately. Once you have identified the lesson in a particular problem that you're trying to solve, apply that lesson immediately. All right, apply it immediately, whether it is to change your approach, whether it is to change your behavior, whether it is to change your mindset, or see, acting on what you've learned will accelerate your progress. That is why it's important that you apply the lessons that you learned immediately. Also, develop resilience through whatever lesson you are going to learn this week. That is one thing that lessons in a problem will help you do. It will help you become more resilient. So when you know that every problem has a lesson built in it, when you know that inside every problem there is a lesson, it builds resilience in you. You are tougher. Do you understand? You have grit. You have a staying power. You don't lose your cool. You don't lose your mind because you are going through something. You have a staying power. Why? Because you know there is a lesson in this. You know that there is something that you are to learn. That life is trying to teach you something that you will not learn any other way. So it encourages you to face the challenges you are going through head on. You face it head on. You just approach the challenge and see there is a lesson here. So I'm not running away. So you face the challenges in your life head on. You're confident that you will emerge stronger. You are confident that you will emerge wiser. You are confident that no matter what happens, you will win. Why? Because you have this mindset that there is a lesson in this problem for you to learn. And also, you must this week use those lessons to improve your decision making power. Use these lessons to solve your problem. That is one key insight that I want you to take away this week. When you encounter a problem, when you know, it's not enough for you to know that, oh, this problem, I can learn from it. No, you apply the lessons immediately and you use the lesson to improve your decision making. See, past lessons should inform your future decisions. Or else, that means you just wasted the whole lesson. Do you understand? Whatever you've gone through, whatever you've learned from what you went through should inform future decisions so that you don't enter a cycle of mistakes, or solving it. That means you're not learning. So by reflecting on what you have learned, you can make better, more informed choices. All right? You can reduce the likelihood of repeating the same mistakes over and over again. The reason why you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, maybe in the choice of life partner, maybe in the choice of job, maybe in the choice of the business you go to, in the choice of friends, is because you are not learning everything from the past one. The moment you are done with the relationship, you move on to a new one without even learning why that one broke off in the first place. So you need to know, okay, this was what went wrong in my last place of work. This is what I did wrong that made them to let me go. I will not repeat it so that I become better. That is what lessons are meant for. They are meant to improve your decision making. Do you understand me? So when you think about what you've learned, you are to use it to make better and well-informed choices. So this week, I want you to go and use every insight that I've shared with you. Also, don't just hoard your lessons. Lessons are not meant only for you. They are meant for other people. So share the lessons that you're learning with other people. Share it with them. Don't hoard it. That's how we make the world a better place. Sharing the lessons you have learned will help other people to avoid similar pitfalls. Or you want them to also enter that particular problem. And that is not cool. That is not how good human beings do things. All right, you've learned this is not the route to take. There are ditches here. You should tell the person coming that, see, I've passed through this road. If they did not listen, it's not your own fault. It's their own responsibility. But it is your responsibility that is for you to share the lessons you have learned with the people coming behind you. Because you've gone through this road, you can tell them, see, there are many potholes here. I have tried to fill some, but you must be careful. If you cannot avoid taking this route, just know that there are potholes, there are bridges, there are difficulties on this particular road, and these are the difficulties I encounter. This is how I overcome them. This is what I've learned overcoming them. So take these lessons. So if they now refuse to take it, that's no more your responsibility. But your responsibility is to share the lessons you have learned with other people. That is on you. That is what you must do. That is what good human beings do. That is what leaders do, and I believe you are. And finally this week, regularly reflect on the lessons that you have learned. That's how you internalize lessons. When you reflect on what you've gone through, when you reflect on the lessons you have learned, you are able to internalize those lessons, and those lessons eventually become you. That is how habits are formed. That is how we become who we are. We learn, we internalize, we think about what we've learned, we reflect more on them, then we internalize them the more. It now sits in our subconscious mind. It becomes a reflex eventually. They say, oh, that guy is wise. Oh, that girl is intelligent. Why? He or she has internalized the lessons that life has taught them. So this week, go and take time to reflect on the problems you have faced and the lessons you have learned from those problems. Regularly reflecting will help you to internalize these lessons the more and make them permanent. The lessons become a permanent part of your problem solving skills, a permanent part of your problem solving toolkit. So this week, I want you to go and ask yourself, what lessons will I learn from this problem that I'm facing? And the lessons that I've learned in the past, how can I use them to make a better decision today, to make a better decision this week, to make a better decision this month? Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching me. Subscribe if you've not shared this with the wider community. I appreciate your attention, not taken for granted in any way. Thank you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye for now.